We've got another super packed transmission lined up for you today. We have a top professor joining us who is, amongst many in academia, warning of the fact that it is a probability that artificial intelligence from machines will dominate our society and will end up enslaving humanity. It is 100% certainty that the global technocratic engineers are attempting to establish a technocracy, in their own words, over us, using technology to track, trace, and control everything we're doing. And that by building that system, they'll probably fall into the pit that they've dug for us. So that is coming up. Here was one of the articles in MSNBC last week. Control dangerous AI before it controls us, expert says. And it's that professor that will be joining us. Good job to the crew getting them lined up for the show. One of his papers is Leak-Proofing the Singularity, Artificial Intelligence Confinement Problem. Instead, all the AI, and a lot of this stuff is already artificially intelligent to a certain degree. The question is, it's self-aware. Doesn't matter. If a drone's launched and goes around killing certain targets, making its own decisions, that's been going on for 20 years. They just now announced it last year to the slaves. It is autonomous. It is artificially intelligent. It's flying around killing people on its own, under its own programming. It's been programmed, but it's like a wind-up toy. You turn it loose. And so the very architecture of this system is a Skynet-type scenario where it launches a big attack on humanity. So this is an area I'm obviously very concerned with. I hope you're concerned with it. We'll be breaking that down on the other side of this quick break. And then, I told you it was going to happen, but I didn't know it was going to happen this quick. I've just been proven absolutely correct yet again. Not really hard to do. The Congress is moving for a full African invasion, continent-wide, and Angelina Jolie is at the World Criminal Court worshiping it, saying this is her jihad for global government. That's all coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome and thank you so much for joining us today as we kick off this worldwide transmission against tyranny. It is the 14th day of March 2012, and we're going to be live here for the next 3 hours. And we do have a professor and expert in artificial intelligence who's warning the public that a technocratic system's being built that will basically give rise to a computer artificially intelligent dictatorship. He will be joining us coming up in the second hour. Also, we may have a surprise guest in the third hour, or I may just do it in the TV studio, the interview tonight. I'm not sure exactly which is going to happen, but it's of a Dave Mustaine level. And by the way, the Dave Mustaine interview that we shot last week is going to air tomorrow night in place of InfoWars Nightly News. And I'm very glad that InfoWars Nightly News is so popular. I've had quite a few complaints pouring in from Prisonplanet.tv viewers that, hey, Alex, we want fresh new shows every night at 7. You know, I plan to do the news for a few months straight, beta testing. I said this was beta because, you know, Prisonplanet.tv has all of my films. Now 9 years of material coming up. April 12th is when we launched it. All those years ago. I guess 9 years ago. And we are about to launch a new contest that'll be $5,000 for male reporters, $5,000 for female reporters, and then you get a shot at being an InfoWars reporter and anchor and reaching an audience of 3 million people a day. So I meant to launch this 3-4 months ago. And I'm so busy, and my skeleton crew is so busy just trying to get the nightly news on every night and doing investigative reports and going out on the street. We've only got a team of like 5 people. We've got to hire 3 or 4 more people. And we've got to put in a bunch of new upgrades and equipment. We've got a lot of stuff, a lot of graphics we're going through, upgrading things. So I'll tell you now, I meant to go 2 or 3 months straight and then have like a week or 2 hiatus, as I announced 8 months ago. And I just went 8 months and never stopped, never got off the treadmill. So we're going to go again for another week and a half with a Dave Mustaine exclusive interview tomorrow, my 2-hour speech in Orlando next week, some other special reports. Some nights it'll be new stuff, but a few nights we're not, because I have to drop some things because I can't cut a promo video about the contest for hiring reporters if I'm busy trying to do the nightly news, or my crew is. I can't cut a new promo video for Prisonplanet.tv. I can't go over all the resumes we've already got for video editors, writers, researchers, investigative reporters, when we've got hundreds of them already that I am literally in an ocean of. And so we've had incredible success, and I appreciate your support. But I will probably in 4 or 5 months again, after these reporters are hired, trained, in place, the new equipment's in, we have the new sharing upload system to deliver the show to television. See, another thing is the show's already getting picked up by different cable systems, broadcast TV, big national British basic cable does a 2-hour compilation. I've got to create a list of the stations we're already on. I mean, we're already getting on in Europe and England and areas of the U.S. without even trying. You know, we just get emailed by a cable system, hey, can we pick the show up? I'm like, yeah, boom, hit it. Yeah, I mean, there's so much going on around here that I've got to jump off the treadmill for 5 seconds, just so I can try to let the dust halfway settle. And in between that, I've got 50 other irons in the fire and big breaking news and all this going on. And so I did make the announcement on Monday that we were going to have, 2-week hiatus with some new shows and special events for viewers. But I'm really heartened by folks saying, hey, we want the news. We're addicted to this. There are about 50,000 people a night, which is tiny compared to the radio audience, that tune into Prisonplanet.tv throughout the first airing of the show at 7 Central, and then the re-streaming of it until the next day, and then the archiving of it. And, of course, we do allow, each membership is really 6 memberships. Each membership, with the same username and passcode that you create, 6 people can be logged in simultaneously. So it's really 6 memberships for 15 cents a day. And I am glad that people are sharing their memberships. We've got a lot better servers now where it almost never has problems streaming. There's been a lot going into this because we're doing it from the ground floor up. We never had the money to hire big consultants and big companies or try to have a big official studio put in. I could have never built this. We've done it from the ground up on a shoestring budget, and now we're getting to really try to go to the next level and bloom. But it takes a lot, and we couldn't have done it without you. And then it looks like for the nightly news, we're going to have another big interview for you next week. Because I went to dinner with a well-known individual who's shown that they're very awake to what's going on in the world, and invited them to come in, and they're like, well, I'm not sure. I don't know how much I'll end up saying. And I said, okay, well, whatever you want to do. And they contacted me this morning. I need to get back in touch with them. They want to come in. So that's another big interview. We've just got a lot going on here, and I need to get the new people hired, trained, in place so that we've got enough people to basically hit the balls that are coming at us. It's kind of like I got 4 or 5 guys lined up with their baseball bats, and there's 20 machine pitchers out there, pitching machines, shooting fastballs at us. And we're hitting a lot of home runs here. But I realize I need to get more people out front on my team so they can really start knocking home runs and try to hit every one of those balls. I mean, I need to hire 3 or 4 people just to go through the email every day. Don't have the money. I need to hire people just to moderate the comments on the message boards, because you can get sued all day for that stuff. People posting copyright stuff, people posting phone numbers, people saying, go kill this person. I've got to get more than just part-time moderators in there. I'm finally getting ready to launch the social network after, years of being on the treadmill, and I'm always running so fast on the treadmill here with the syndicated radio show and the rest of it. The radio show reaches around 3 million people a day, 15 million a week conservatively. The nightly news only reaches about 50,000 a day that are watching on Prisonplanet.tv, but then it gets posted to our YouTube channel and hundreds of others, and a conservative estimate is the nightly news gets watched by about 2 million people a week just on YouTube and a few other video systems. Like I said, it's on the basic cable England-wide through an organization group that has a channel that has a couple 100,000 viewers. We've looked at the ratings when the show airs every, Sunday evening. And there's all sorts of TV stations around the country picking it up and cable systems. I mean, it's crazy what's happening. So when we finally put out a honed 1-hour show, this has all just been beta testing right now. When we finally do put this out, and to be able to put out the official show quicker, there may be a few times in the next 6 months where I have to get pulling for a pit stop and get new tires, new gas in the engine, some oil shot into the engine, so that I can really then race back out there on the track and go 300 and defeat the globalist. And we're doing it all together. Okay, there's some basic program notes for you today. When we come back, I'm very disgusted by this. I am basically distraught over this subject. Again, we've been proven absolutely devastatingly accurate. And you would think that I'd be happy about that. No. It only makes me sad for basic humankind, how gullible we become, how one-dimensional the general public has become. Either you're waking up and becoming enlightened, or you're getting more into a trance. We are in a narcoleptic state. That is the best way to describe it. Last night I was sitting there for like 10 minutes having dinner with a very interesting individual, and I was trying to describe they're in a trance, they're under a spell, it's like they're not awake. The brainwaves, he goes, yeah, no, it's an artificially induced narcoleptic state. And that's what it is. And I'm here to try to get people out of their narcoleptic state. Sure, I'm abrasive, I'm obnoxious, I'm all of those things. But you know what? No one has been as effective as I have with my crew and you supporting us. And so anytime I get down on myself, because believe me, I'm my worst critic, I realize, hey, you're doing the best job you can. So stop getting down on yourself. Because believe me, my biggest hurdle is a self-loathing that I'm not doing enough and that I'm not fighting hard enough. That's why people call in and say how great I am, or people on the street tell me how great I am. It's like punching me in the stomach, and I don't know how to explain it, because I feel like I'm doing the bare minimum I should be doing. I don't know how to, it's just, I just have a responsibility, and I don't understand how other people don't have a feeling of responsibility to fight these murdering scum. It's not, I'm not a hero, I'm not a good guy, I'm none of those things. It's basic survival, ladies and gentlemen. We've got to get past this idea that it's exceptional to fight evil. We have evil running wild all over us because we believe fighting evil is exceptional. Fighting evil is the bare minimum. Resistance to tyrants is obedience to God. And my whole body, my whole spirit is do more. Because I understand the threat. Now, I told you it was coming. The Congress is moving for an African-wide invasion. Their words, not mine. With a complete blank check for scorched earth everywhere. The UN is involved in genocide all over Africa, from Uganda to Ivory Coast, right now. Angelina Jolie has gone to the World Court to basically call for global government. Everything I said is now about to expand. I can see a day coming when even having your own home garden is going to be against the law. By the way, the Secretary of Defense was arriving in Afghanistan and a big car bomb went off. Who knows if that's them bombing themselves to try to, make the war look legitimate and continue it. You had this military man reportedly go in and now kill 18 people at like 3 a.m. in Afghanistan inside their houses, women and children. And the media's like, why would a soldier do that? I don't know, you serve 5-6 tours. 1 out of 100, sometimes more, are going to go crazy. And they're going to go crazy on technology to track, trace, and control everything we're doing. and that by building that system, they'll probably fall into the pit that they've dug for us. So that is coming up. Here was one of the articles in MSNBC last week. Control dangerous AI before it controls us, expert says. And it's that professor that will be joining us. Good job to the crew getting them lined up for the show. One of his papers is Leak-Proofing the Singularity, Artificial Intelligence, Confinement Intelligence from Machines will dominate our society and will end up enslaving humanity. It is 100% certainty that the global technocratic engineers are attempting to establish a technocracy, in their own words, over us using the problem. Instead, all the AI, and a lot of this stuff is already artificially intelligent to a certain degree. The question is, it's self-aware. Doesn't matter. If a drone's launched and goes around killing certain targets, making its own decisions, that's been going on for 20 years. Well, we've got another super packed transmission lined up for you today. We have a top professor joining us who is, amongst many in academia, warning of the fact that it is a probability that artificial intelligence